we've made it, folks.
Yeah, we've made it.
We
What
made it.
is
Oh,
the pick? It is Jalen McMillan, wide receiver out of
Oh
Washington.
my
Look
Wow.
at
good
that.
God. Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
So now
Great
you
pick.
you have a wide receiver. By the way, Peyton Wilson still available.
still available.
And you have a wide receiver trio of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jalen McMillan. Now, he had 45 receptions, 559 yards, and 5 touchdowns his final year. What do you guys think of the pick?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like. Yeah, I
I
like it.
like it. Yeah.
I like it for you guys. He seems like he's going to be serviceable.
Yep.
In
Yeah,
20,
what about Trey Palmer though? I think Trey Palmer. There's
Yeah,
something
that's
there.
right.
yeah, so
Trey
he's gonna
Palmer.
be rotating in with Trey Palmer as well. McMillan had
Mm-hmm.
1,000 yards in 2022, looked like 90 yards. He ran a 4.47 40-yard dash at the combine. McMillan did. So
Hmm.
I think this is going to be a guy who is going to be competing with Palmer for that third spot, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
This is going to be a guy where, again, with Godwin's contract being a bit of a question mark after this
Mm.
year, what are they going to do? Are they going to bring him back? Are you going to be able to pay him a lot of money? It's going to be a legitimate question. We've talked a lot this stream about insurance policies and things along those lines. Getting a guy like that with McMillan, it feels like a bit of an insurance policy where, hey, let's grow this guy. Let's have him develop behind Evans and Godwin because he might have to replace one of those guys one day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of what you have here. Like McMillan, he can be eased into it, right? He doesn't have to start right away or get, baptism by fire, so to speak.
Right.
With having to be a wide receiver 2, or he can be a guy who can compete for a wide receiver 3 spot, if not be a wide receiver 4 right off the jump.
Right.
So I like that. Wide receiver I don't know if people view it as like a luxury, so to speak, but so far, like, for the Bucs case, right? Like, you got your interior O lineman in Graham Barton, you got your edge rusher in Chris Braswell, you got your defensive back in Tyke Smith, and now you've got a wide receiver in McMillan. So
Right.
they've been addressing a lot of their needs so far to
Yeah.
this point, and spreading it out. I think McMillan's good value here as well at the 92nd
Mm-hmm.
pick. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremendous value. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Trey Palmer competition with McMillan is going to be the talk of camp there. I mean, I like what I saw the Trey Palmer towards the tail end of the season. It seemed like he started to come on, and that's normally what happened with like some of these younger guys. The game starts to slow down a tad bit towards the end of the season, and you really start to see these guys step up. I mean, we've seen the same thing with Rashee Rice out there in Kansas City. I mean, he stepped up in a postseason, so that's what you want to see from your young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked if Chris Godwin was traded now in the offseason?
At this point, yeah, just because we are already we're going to be ending out round 3, right? I would be surprised to see Godwin go for let's say like a 4th rounder or a 5th rounder or something like that. I just, unless you want to, and again, to that point, like, you don't have to trade him at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can let his contract play out. Maybe if they're in a crappy situation by the trade deadline, then maybe you see something like that where a move might happen where it's like, hey, we're not going to be winning a lot of games this year. But I could just see them writing out the contract, and, maybe that's frowned upon because people are going to say, oh, get the value while it's there. But, like,
yeah,
we're at the end of the 3rd round right now. And I think Godwin is a guy that, like, could still probably get you a 3rd round pick, all things considered. So I think right now that's just going to say, hey, let's ride out with Evans, Godwin, Palmer to that point, and McMillan. Whichever guy wins that battle, I think will still be a good, it's just whoever wins out, it's still going to be a good 3 and 4 combo between the two, right? Of McMillan and Palmer.
Right.
So I think it's a good pick. Like, I've really liked the Bucs draft so far. I think they've had a fun draft so far with just really solid picks.
I think you guys had solid picks based off of needs. You guys are hitting needs, so you guys really covered that, man.
Yeah, for sure.